Recent years have shown Canadians that we live in a dangerous and unpredictable world. Many experts say Canadians need to think differently about protecting ourselves, our families, and our communities. We face several trade-offs, things we will have to give up to be more safe and secure. How much do you think we need to spend and prepare in this more uncertain and dangerous world? Let's discuss what Canada should do to increase our security. This proposal is that Canada should spend 3.5% of GDP on the military. Those who support this proposal argue that increasing defense spending means we fulfill our promises to our NATO allies. It makes sense. We need to strengthen our military in an increasingly dangerous world, so we're prepared for whatever comes. Those who oppose this proposal argue that the risks are overblown. Russia isn't invading Canada. Taiwan is very far away from us. Spending more on defense means less money for other priorities, such as healthcare or paying down the national debt. This proposal is that Canada should include pandemic preparedness in the 1.5% of GDP allocated to broader security measures in our NATO commitment. Those who support this proposal argue that Canada should have its own domestic PPE and vaccine capacity, so we aren't forced to buy from others in an emergency. We don't know when the next pandemic will hit, but we can't take the risk. It's better to be prepared, and we can't be at the back of the queue if it comes. Those who oppose this proposal argue that another pandemic may not happen anytime soon, and this type of spending isn't needed. Since we don't know if or when a pandemic could come, we could buy the wrong equipment and prepare for the wrong diseases. A lot of the money might be wasted. This proposal is that Canada should pay a premium for made-in-Canada military capabilities. Those who support this proposal argue that buying a lot of military equipment from the United States leaves Canada vulnerable to American pressure and possible threats. Canada can no longer trust the United States as we once did. Those who oppose this proposal argue that Canada does not spend anywhere near as much as the United States does on military research and development, meaning that things we build here may not be as capable as American equipment. Less capable equipment could put our military at risk when they fight enemies overseas. This proposal is Canada should set up a foreign human intelligence service. Those who support this proposal argue that Canada needs to have an independent ability to know what rival countries are up to and how they might be undermining Canada. Canada needs to become less dependent on the United States for intelligence, including information about threats to Canada. Those who oppose this proposal argue that Canada would do things in other countries that are illegal. Canadian spies would take big risks and could get caught, leading to imprisonment or execution. This proposal is that Canada should increase its military capabilities in the Arctic against threats from strategic rivals. Those who support this proposal argue that asserting sovereignty in the Arctic requires a more physical presence in the region, including military ships. Adversaries may send military or spy ships into the Arctic, which should be met with a military response. Those who oppose this proposal argue that money spent on an increased military presence in the Arctic would be better spent on their priorities, like healthcare, education, and jobs. Canada is already building new icebreakers for the Arctic. Adding more won't necessarily result in increased security. This proposal is that the government should require companies to invest significantly to prepare for cyber and terrorist attacks that affect essential services. Those who support this proposal argue that forcing companies and citizens to prepare for essential service attacks and disruptions leaves us better prepared. We will be more resilient to attacks and disasters if we are required to prepare. Those who oppose this proposal argue that companies may pass on the cost of preparedness to customers. The government will need more people and powers to keep an eye on companies to make sure they're complying with laws. Now, let's open the floor for discussion. Remember, all of the information presented is from the briefing materials you received. Please refer to them for more information. Now, whether you are for or against these proposals, we would love to hear your thoughts. Your voice matters.